Well, isn't that a little bit embarrassing? I didn't realize I even had freaking music muted. So I was playing it the whole time, no one even knew. Let me boot up my avatar. Hello everyone! Welcome to a very late live stream. Now the reason why I'm doing this is because for one, I can't sleep. I am way too hype, okay? The pilot is releasing Friday at like 1 p.m. EST, I think. And I am genuinely so excited. But then it got me thinking, the wiki is going to be updated because we're going to have all this information. So I threw together a quick video, and I know I couldn't actually make a full video, so I decided to do it as a live stream. So, I want to go into everything we have of the Down the Mine pilot footage and picture-wise. I'm not reading all the script. Before we get the actual pilot. I figured it could be a fun little archive thing. I'm going to adjust my character so I'm just a bit out of frame of the images. There we go. Alright. Let me move this up a little bit. Yeah. Okay. So, I just want to go over it. Let's just see what even is all in the pilot. So let's go over what we know of that's actually in the freaking pilot, okay? So we have the first scene here. We all know this. It's the reason why probably most of us are even aware. It has the most visual differences. We have the background. We got the different model. We got the different... Pretty sure it's different afterward, right? Different trucks, different everything. Also, I'm including the unrestored and restored versions for comparison. Alright, we all know of this iconic shot, okay? It's pretty common. Okay, next shot here. I didn't know about this until I looked at the wiki today. Apparently this shot right here of Tom's getting pulled out of the mine is from the pilot. So that's cool. I doubt anyone cares enough about this shot, though. Alright. Next up, we got potentially pilot stuff, alright? That was all we pretty much knew, I'm pretty sure, if I'm remembering correctly. This is definitely the pilot pilot down the mine Topham model here. I mean, it looks nothing like the show, as we can clearly tell. And, I don't know, they made Topham look a little bit older than they did in the actual show. I'm glad that they changed him, because he looks a lot more like a cool old man. Alright, guys. Next up, more frames. Looks like what I find really interesting is I want to know what the driver and fireman look like, because they look relatively the same to the actual show, but look at the mouth to the top right of the image here. Look at that. Like, oh, I want to know what that looks like. Yeah. Does this mean I gotta listen to a bedtime story? Oh my gosh. Maybe. This is your bedtime story. Okay. Next up. Alright, we got Topham, and he's doing a cool little dance move. He's hitting the jig in the pilot. The clouds are nothing that interesting. Let's move on. Alright, now here is Annie, right? I think it's Annie. Yeah, whoever. This is one of Tom's coaches here. Pretty cool. And I like this. If it is a pilot image, I'm really interested because this looks a lot like the shows, Annie and Clarabelle. But if it's the pilots, again, it's really interesting to see how consistently they would keep the visual style from so early on. So I'm really looking forward to finding that out tomorrow. Well, I guess today by now. Are you so excited for the pilot? I am too! That's why I'm making this weird stream that's probably going to be like a couple minutes. It's awesome, but yeah, I want to know what their Annie and Clarabelle looked like in the pilot. Because if this is it, show did a pretty good job. Like, they pretty much nailed it from the first point. So that's cool. Just letting quick play. Alright, now that's all the stuff from the Down the Mine episode. Here is a whistle close-up from Thompson Gordon here. This is the first episode. This is the restored, this is the unrestored. I switched them around because I forgot. As we can see, this looks a little bit different from the close-ups we get of Thomas's whistle in like season 1. I don't know, it just looks a little less detailed. What's cool about the restored version is that we actually get to see some of the lining on this Thomas, and we can see that his boiler be small. Like, look how small that boiler is there. So, if it is the Pilot Thomas, we got the stripe with the restored versions. Like, unrestored, you could just see this. That doesn't give you much, it just gives you the whistle. Alright, and then we got another close-up. This is from Thomas and Birdie. It's just a slightly different angle. And again, we get to see the stripe here. We barely got a sod here. I don't even think you can make that out. But it just doesn't look like the close-up we get of Thomas from season 1. Alright? It's pretty cool. And we get to see the reflection in the camera. Or, not the reflection, that's the shadow. Yeah, the shadow of the camera crew, which is pretty cool. Alright, now we all know this image. This was an image that was leaked, like, a while ago. What was it, 2023 or 2024? It was a little bit ago. It was really recent. This looks completely different from what we get in the actual show. For one, I love how crisp this image is. Like, this is so entirely low quality. I mean, what a great job, everyone, for leaking this with such beautiful quality. No, in all honesty, I'm glad someone leaked it. The signal box is a bit different. The bridge, I couldn't tell if it looks different or not. I like how we get to see the edge of the set. That's cool. Tree's cool. You know, it's nice. And then it looks like we have little animals here. Maybe like cows or something. If we get this shot in the actual pilot, I'm really excited to see it. I bet we will. It'd be weird to not have this shot, and it's clear it was iconic enough to bring into the whole show. So. Alright. Now we got what most people know as the Shed 17 Driverman. Looks creepy. Very strange. Glad they changed it. I wouldn't even be surprised if this isn't even in the pilot, because of how weird this is. There are pictures of EMQ holding the film of the pilot, found on the wiki. Yeah, I'm getting to that then. Alright, and then here's this signal box that I'm pretty sure was actually just right here, in this image here. This is like a close-up of it. Honestly, it looks pretty good. I like the way this signal box looks. I'm not hard to please. It's cool. I like it. I have no idea where these images came from, though. Like, was this an auction or something? It was probably behind the scenes, if we're being honest. Alright. Here is the Gordon. This is the only reason why we know what this Gordon looks like. It's because we had these images here before it was scrapped. So, you can tell the things that connect his side rods to his wheels were painted silver, instead of just being, like, blue like the wheels. The face is a big giveaway. The running board dips a lot lower. It's pretty weird looking for sure. And apparently with these props, the smoke would go through the eyes in the faces. So, this guy doesn't exist anymore. Pretty interesting to look at him, though. And we got a couple more images of him. So we got this one, which I like whoever took this picture. It's a very goofy angle. Very silly. And then, we got this of the cab. With another realistic eye-looking driver/fireman right there. That's pretty cool. I think the signal box is from a huge drop of behind-the-scenes images on Twitter in 2023. Oh, okay. Next up is this. Now, I don't know when this came out. I've never seen this before until today. Maybe it was today, but I don't think so. So we got this. It's Pilot Topham hanging out with a bunch of crew members. This guy has a real long leg, and they're just chilling, doing whatever they're doing with the buffers there, just pointing at him. They're like, yo, Topham, look at these buffers. And you're like, oh, I see the buffers. It's pretty cool. I guess a perfect way to spend my midnight. Luke, you know how I'm going to spend my midnight, okay? This is going to be more than midnight. Now we got these images. Bro, this Pilot Topham's been through a lot. I mean, he's just seeing a bunch of corpse on the ground. This guy's decapitated. Bunch of limbs everywhere. There's a whole roll of tape here. This guy doesn't even have eyes. This guy's getting sculpted. Like, he is important. or whoever. We also get this person, who I'm pretty sure this isn't a pilot image, but we do get Topham. There's Topham, and he's cool, I guess. All right. Now we got the driver close up, and his red flag. He's chill. He looks nice. I don't know what else to say about him. It looks like he had a little bit of a mishap with his eyeliner there. It looks like he got a little bit on his face, but you know, that's alright. And now we get on the freaking present day, where out of nowhere, Mattel was like, oh yes, on a random Friday, we should release this, and we'll tell everyone a random time on Thursday. Like, what? What do you mean? What do you mean on a random May 8th? We knew the anniversary was coming up, but everyone kind of thought you would do it on the day, but I guess Friday works better, but you don't want to wait for Saturday? I don't know, but yeah, we get this freaking amazing image. Super high quality of just the film reel. Like, what? How did we get this? And then someone on the wiki actually gave us a close-up of this image. And look at the freaking pilot Thomas. Look at this window. It's so... it's kind of bad, I'm not gonna lie. Thomas is missing his lining. We know this is from the pilot, because it's freaking from Mattel. Like, so the yellow on the windows is just not there at all. The red looks a little darker. I don't know if that's just because of the way they're holding the film. But the red lining looks darker from the previous images. Hold on, let me get a little close up. Alright, so this is a little bit brighter red, don't you think, than this one? It could just be the image. I might be going to say, it's actually a little more the same. I don't know. But this is cool. And here's this little driver that we see here. It might be the same one, I don't even know. Well, maybe it's not. I think... Are the eyebrows different? I think they're a little different. Okay, so that might not be the same one. But it's still pretty freaking similar on how they did the style. Alright, then we got Ian McHugh holding up the film reel and just... You know, this was even going to happen in the first place because this guy responded to a random email a random person asked him. And was like, oh yeah, we'll try to get it for 2025. And we got it. We have it. Like, what? That is wild. It's amazing that it was still around. They're still able to get it. And about the original narration, now that's where I'm wondering what we'll get. There's been rumors that this one woman did a bunch of like test audio like narration before they got like the narrators narrate everything, and people think that maybe she was the one that did the original narration. But it seems Ringo Starr is the person who narrated the actual pilot. So, you know, I guess we'll see if it's either from the episode itself, a new recording, or the actual pilot recording, which I would prefer. But I wouldn't be surprised if they lost that. I mean, it's been like, what, 41 years now, right? No, 42, because this is the year prior. I think it's 42 years. So I wouldn't be shocked if they just don't have that. I'm just glad we're getting the footage. And Mike O'Donnell is doing a score, so that's cool. I'm glad that Mike O'Donnell got some work. That was great. But yeah, this is what we got the pilot. It's releasing in like 10 hours, right? No. 12. Like 7 hours? That's awesome. I don't know what else to say, but I'm very excited for us to even get the pilot. I wanted to record audio for a video, but I kept thinking about this. How was I not supposed to think about the freaking Down the Mine pilot when we're getting it tomorrow? Okay, like it's so cool. I'm amazed. I don't know what else to say, but yeah, this is everything we know before we're gonna get the pilot tomorrow. So this is everything besides the script. I didn't want to read the script, but you can check it on the wiki. I'm sure it'll be there afterwards. But yeah, this is it, guys. We're getting the pilot in 7 hours. in 7 hours. After years of waiting, I'm freaking. When was my video on? I made a video on like the Down the Mine pilot when I used to do like Lost Media back in like 2020. I need to see for sure like when that was. I gotta know. Hold on. Okay, I'm just checking. It was July 16th of 2020 is when I uploaded my first video on this thing. I I almost waited a full 5 years for this to just get released when I first initially did a bunch of research on it. That is amazing to me. Like, wow. Like 4 years, basically. A little bit more than 4 years. I've been waiting for this pilot, and I researched this pilot. And I didn't do good in that video. I wouldn't recommend watching it. But I'm just like... I'm just amazed. I'm so happy we're getting this. We have freaking the missing coach stills. You know, we got those a couple years back. And the only thing we really needed was the pilot. I feel we should still push for the missing coach footage, at least. I mean, if we really want to. But I think the stills are enough to, piece it together. But, we got the pilot. We basically have, like, every Thomas episode now. Everyone can finally say that. Well, not everyone, but most people can finally say that they've watched every single Thomas and Friends episode. Because we're getting the pilot. Like, this is huge! This is huge! But, yeah. This is all we have for the pilot. I'm so excited. I cannot contain my excitement. And I guess I'll see you all when the pilot starts to air. Or a little bit after. So, yeah. Bye, everyone. Thank you for watching this. Hope you all enjoyed the pilot. We'll see how it is.